Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, May 7th. So today the moon is still in Cancer, but we will be making our way into Leo energy. The moon goes void, of course, around 6:30 a.m. and will be locking into Leo energy around 8 a.m. Again, Eastern Standard Time. Now, the last couple of days have been hella emotional, very introverted. We've been doing lots of healing. If you've been in a state of pain or depression or trauma, that is a good indication of the amount of healing that is actually taking place. Many people are kind of twisted in the fact that they think that healing should be this light and fluffy, peaceful release. That is certainly not the case. You know you are healing when you are in the depths of your darkness, when you are facing the shadow aspects of yourself, when you are down in the dumps, depressed, when you feel like the world is just kicking you while you're down. That, my friends, is the healing process, as dark and painful and ugly as it may be. Many of us over the last couple of days having to face some very painful truths, especially where our pain and trauma from our family, our generational trauma was concerned, and recognizing the very rapid changing dynamics in our home, in our family, in our foundation, in our safety, in our security. All of that is very much shadow work. And when we do that shadow work, you best believe there's huge amount of healing taking place, even if it doesn't feel that way. So all of this moon in Cancer energy was meant to kind of take us into our inner realm and really kind of highlight the shadows, the pain, the trauma within, because we're building towards the first quarter moon in Leo taking place Sunday. So if you are a Moon Guide subscriber following the stages of manifesting in the lunar cycle for the month, you would know that the first quarter moon in Leo is building us up to a certain point of boldness and bravery and courage and strength in order to truly express ourselves, to stand in our individual uniqueness, to roar like the Leo lion himself. This is a time of action. And of course, action only happens when our back is against a wall, when we are uncomfortable, when we're tired of the pain, of the suffering. And many of us have been sitting in that for quite a while, especially over this past week. It has felt very dark, very heavy, very weighted, but for good reason. We are doing huge amounts of healing work at this particular time. So like I've been saying, you have to kind of be broken down before you're prepared for a breakthrough. You have to sit in the darkness before you can truly appreciate the light. And this is why we follow astrology. There's a pattern, there's a cycle. And after the last couple of days of being introverted and really sitting with our inner child and examining where it is that we have to break free from the past in order to start new and build a brand new reality, this particular energy, as we shift into Leo energy, is going to be a very positive shift for many people. The moon in Leo does fire us up. It's a fire energy. We are passionate. We are creative. We want to kind of be in the spotlight. We tap into new levels of playful energy, which isn't going to hurt anybody after the last couple of days of very dark, heavy, weighted kind of energy. And we're highly expressive. We have a new truth. We have a new story that needs to be told. And after the last couple of days of sitting within ourselves and sorting through the darker thoughts and the darker emotions, we have come to a brand new point of understanding, a brand new perspective that we are likely going to want to get out of our physical form and express to other people just to get that energy flowing. And you know what? We might not have had the boldness and the bravery that was needed just a couple of days ago, but moving into this fiery energy of Leo, you best believe that we want the jungle to know that we are still in control. We are the boss. We are the king of our own domain. So While the moon is still in Cancer, we do have the moon bumping into Uranus in a very positive aspect. And again, this Uranian energy is connected to the higher realms, does kind of download us with an aha moment that shifts our whole perspective. That gives us a brand new understanding of what it is that we need emotionally. And right now, we are being illuminated to where it is that we're feeling held back, restricted, in a funk, and where it is that we need to free ourselves from certain roles, responsibilities, relationship dynamics. Now, this Uranian energy also opens us up to major changes, and we're more accepting of these changes. We are openly accepting change and transformation a lot quicker than one would suspect at this particular point. So the moon being in Cancer, having this time over the last couple of days of being kind of reflective and introspective and, examining our thoughts, our feelings, and recognizing where it is that we have to break the chain and the generational trauma that has been passed down in our DNA from our family members. We got a lot going on, and this particular energy is going to be like a shock wave sent through our system, opening up our mind space, shifting our heart space into what needs to happen from here in order for us to be free of some of the roles and responsibilities that we know are weighing very heavily on our heart space, on our shoulders. The moon in Cancer is going to sit across from, oppose, get in a little bit of a conflict with Pluto, who is retrograde in Capricorn energy. Of course, Cancer and Capricorn sit across from one another in the zodiac wheel, very reflective of the safety and security that we need to feel and that we are currently lacking. The Cancer energy kind of focuses on the home, while the Capricorn energy focuses on the reputation, the career, the roles and responsibilities that we have outside of the home. And this little opposition here, of course, Pluto is retrograde, so we're doing an inner realm healing, if you will, recognizing where it is that we've been setting ourselves up for destructive patterns and behaviors, very connected to the inner child, to the family trauma that we are currently faced with. And Pluto's job is to show us, while retrograde, where it is that we got to stop setting ourselves up for self-sabotage, where it is we got to get out of our own way, where it is that this past pain and trauma was divinely scripted to push us into our power, not to stay in the darkness of victimhood. So this little opposition is going to feel very intense. Pluto, of course, is the great transformer, and you have to feel things very intensely to the point of being overwhelmed where you just want to scream in order for a change to actually happen. We may become a little bit obsessive in the dark thoughts and the dark feelings that have to come up in order for us to recognize what it is we have to move away from. But again, this opposition, this conflict, this interaction, this argument between the moon, our emotions, and Pluto, the transformation that is needed, we are definitely seeing where it is within ourselves that we are overwhelmed with those negative thoughts, with those obsessive looping thoughts, with those memory flashes from our past pain, past experience. The moon in Cancer, of course, want to romanticize all the pain and the suffering that we've gone through to try and make peace with it so that we don't force ourselves into a situation where we have to change. And Pluto wants none of that. He wants to bully us with tough love in order for us to realize that we cannot sit around crying and whining about our circumstances, that we have to make a major shift in our thoughts, in our psyche, in our heart space, in our inner realm, so that we can boss the hell up and actually be prepared to do what is required of us in our physical realms to break free of some of the restrictions, some of the restraints in our lives that are holding us back from truly aligning with a vision, with a dream that makes our heart and soul happy. The moon, still in Cancer, is going to bump into the sun. This is a positive aspect. This is going to work for us in a couple of ways. First of all, anytime that the moon and the sun get together, it's an illumination of the old versus the new. We stand in between the old and the new, realizing where it is that we have to let go of certain emotions, certain memories, certain ways of doing things, behaviors, thought patterns, in order to embody the new qualities and characteristics that need to be embodied in order for us to move forward. So the sun, very much in Tauran energy, is trying to illuminate for us where it is that we got to put ourselves first. Self-love is first and foremost. Where we have to put our new values within ourselves at the top of the list. We have to stop hiding from the light of the world. We have skills and talents in our back pocket that we've been sleeping on that could very easily help with our financial situation. We have a new way of valuing ourselves, what it is that we actually deserve, that we need to bring that out of the back pocket, put that on the table for our relationship dynamics to take a good look at whether or not the people in our lives are going to level up with us or take the easy way out and see themselves out of our lives altogether. So this is an overlap, if you will, on where it is that the moon in Cancer would be quite happy for us just to continue to kind of fib and lie and delude ourselves about some of the painful situations that we're in, all in efforts to just keep things as they are. And of course, the sun showing us where it is that we have to start from scratch, where it is we have to build new foundations, where it is that we have to level up the playing field that we are currently living on. And of course, we do that first in our inner realms, and then we see that shift take place when the vibration and frequency reaches our outer realms. The sun sextiles Mars. Now, we just had the sun bump into Uranus a couple of days ago for its annual meetup. Anytime that the sun bumps into a planet, it's almost like they get an initiation. They get supercharged. It's almost like the sun is saying, okay, here's the energy, here's the focus, here's the drive that you need for the next year until I meet you again. Because of course, the sun has to go all the way around its orbit through all the signs and meets all the different planets on their journey at different points in different energies and different zodiacs. Well, the sun is meeting up with Mars, and Mars is currently in Piscean energy. Mars is the god of war. He rules over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires. And he's in Piscean energy, which means that, yes, we're very dreamy. Yes, we're very imaginative. Yes, we have to live in our inner realms and sort out what actually inspires us to make this change, what new desires, what new passions are bubbling up within us that will eventually just be something that we cannot not pursue, especially when Mars moves into Aries, its rulership. We are going to hit the ground running. But while in Piscean energy, we have to realize that Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So we're kind of wrapping things up more than we are initiating anything at this time. And Mars does not enjoy being in Piscean energy because he's passive aggressive in this Piscean energy, non-confrontational, kind of deluded, would rather kind of fantasize than actually live in reality. And the sun bumping into Mars right now is likely going to light up, shine a bright light on where it is that we need to start working on bringing some of these aspects of our dreams, of our intuitional visions and dreams into reality. Of course, the sun in Taurus energy is all about manifesting. What can we bring to life? What can we give birth to? What can we create? Mars is over here in Piscean energy, wrapping up some life lessons, some soul lessons in passions, in desires, in dreams. Many of us are realizing that the dreams that we had for ourselves like a year ago, they don't even vibe with us anymore. We have new passions and new dreams unfolding at a very rapid rate. And while Mars is in Piscean energy, receiving this blast from the sun, it's almost like damn, where do we start channeling, these elements of this dream and this vision, this creative solution to some of our problems? Where can we bring that energy in? Because again, Piscean energy is emotional. So we have to have an emotion backing our ideas before we can go ahead and actually bring it to life and manifest it. So we're channeling this high desire, this high passion, this high energy of dreams and inspiration through our physical bodies that the Taurus energy rules over, our five senses, and really getting us excited, motivated. The sun is saying, hey, you got to get to work. You got to roll up your sleeves. You got to stop living in la la land and actually do something about it. You can think something to death, but unless you actually put it into action, you will never see the fruits or the rewards of the labor in which you've poured into it in your mental plane, in your heart space. This particular energy is an indication that we are going to pop things off. We are going to take action, especially under this first quarter moon in Leo. We are bossing up. We are very passionate. We are very creative, and we are about to channel a high level of information from our intuition, from our higher selves into our physical bodies, and we're going to actually take action in our physical realms, put our hands on the elements that need to be rearranged, reorganized in our lives in order to start building a brand new foundation for our dreams to actually manifest on. The moon at this point, 6:26 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, is about to go void. But before it does, we're going to trine Jupiter. Jupiter is about growth. He's about expansion. He's about the blessings and the possibilities of the future. He is very optimistic. He wants to renew our faith. He wants to renew our hope in a greater, grander plan outside of the physical circumstances that we are currently living in. Jupiter is also in Piscean energy, nearing the final degrees of Pisces, because he as well is preparing to move into Aries energy. And trust me, we're going to get a whole lot of physical energy, a whole lot of perspective, a whole lot of get up and go when these planets move out of Piscean energy and move into Aries. But right now, we have the moon still in Cancer energy, a sister sign to this Piscean energy, blending its emotional, transformative, cleansing energies with Jupiter. We are making a huge amount of progress in processing some emotions and cutting the cord with the old, embodying the new. We are having some very powerful revelations, some powerful emotions take over in our inner realm, really showing us where it is that we are cutting the cord with the past and where it is that we are ready to boss up and take control of our lives. This is very expansive. It's going to feel very overwhelming. It is going to get to a point where you're going to probably just feel like you're on top of the world or you're under the biggest boulder. That choice point is up to you. At the end of this particular Cancer and energy, at any final degree, there is an intensity, and it can manifest both positive and negative aspects. And so we could realize where it is that we have to really muster up the courage and bravery that we're about to tap into with the moon shifting in Leo to push ourselves forward, to make that change, to see that growth, to see that expansion, to open up ourselves to the possibilities, the realm of the possibilities of the future, because we are now realizing after the aspects that we just went through, where it is that we got to get out of our own way, where it is that we have to stop romanticizing our situation, swallow that very hard truth pill, and do what is necessary in order for us to gain control back over our emotions, over our mental plane, and then over our physical circumstances. So the moon goes void. We move into Leo energy. There's approximately 4 hours where there's no aspects being made with any planet, especially the moon. And then the very first aspect that the moon in Leo makes is around noon, again, Eastern Standard Time, and with Mars. So we just had an epiphany. We just had a dream. We just had a vision. We were downloaded with inspiration, intuitive insight on what it is that we need to go after, that we need to make happen. And now with the moon in Leo, we're bold, we're brave, we're courageous enough to do just that. We're looking to stand up, to be seen, to be heard. We are looking to take action. We are looking to unleash a fire energy. What is fire? It's initiation. Fire is life force energy. And right now we are coming back with a brand new spark, with a brand new flame. We are ready to align with our passions, with our desires, and we are ready to do what is necessary in order to bring some of that energy into our physical realm. The moon goes ahead and bumps into the true node in a most positive way, which is exciting because now we're not debating one choice over the other so much. We know a certain action has to be taken. We know the initial stages need to absolutely be pursued, be brought to life in order for us to go after what it is that we want. So this fire energy is kind of charging us up and making us very, very excited, very passionate about what it is that we want to go after. And of course, when that happens, we come up with a little bit of a plan. We gain a little bit of clarity. Of course, that true node is our soul's destiny point. It needs us to get on the right path and the right alignment in order to bring some of these situations from our highest realms into fruition, into our physical realms. So this does suggest that the moon in Leo is really fired up. Emotionally, we are on the right path, on the right page of recognizing what kind of actions we need to take in our physical realm to get on that right path, to be in alignment with bringing some of our dreams to life. Now, the moon is going to sextile Mercury. This is a good aspect. Mercury, of course, is the ruler of our mental plane with new information, new details, new perspectives. In Gemini energy, its place of power. Yes, the Gemini energy is a little bit divisive, if you will, because we do have, again, extreme options, extreme decisions, and two different paths unfolding. But let me tell you, the moon in Leo is very, very passionate about choosing one thing over the other. We are making a little bit of a headway. And every single time we go within ourselves to debate our thoughts, to debate our feelings, and we get our heart and our head a little bit closer and on the same page, we make progress and we make plans. And this particular energy, because the moon in Leo is very expressive, because Mercury rules over us sharing and expressing ourselves with other people, this is going to be a great energy to not only kind of get together with the people that you want to share these ideas, this passion, this excitement with, but it also opens up a beautiful energy to have some heartfelt conversations if need be. There's a lot of chat. There's a lot of talk. Chatty Cathy's coming out to play. And we're definitely speaking from our heart space because, of course, this Leo energy is the heart and soul of the zodiac. And lastly, we have the moon trining Venus. This is a beautiful energy because Venus, of course, is in Aries, a fire energy, a sister sign to Leo energy. The moon in Leo, very, very expressive, very true, very raw, very authentic. Venus, of course, the goddess of love and beauty and worth and pleasure and joy. She is making some very good progress, mostly in deciding what it is that she's not willing to experience, what she's not willing to stand for, what she's not willing to tolerate anymore. But from that, from the framework of deciding what it is that we're done with, we are creating a framework on what it is that we want to move closer to. And this trine energy is a blending of energies, meaning that the moon, our emotions, our heart space is working very well with Venus. Venus, of course, in her feels, but more fired up in an aggressive way to make sure that the feels aren't overrunning her and keeping in her a state of paralysis. We want to move forward. We want to be aggressive. We want to go after what it is that we're passionate about and what it is that we currently desire. With the moon and Venus operating in this way, you best believe we're going to have some very, very aggressive thoughts and feelings when it comes to what it is that we want, need, and desire. What do we need to do for ourselves? What do we desire in relationships? Where do we need to make a little bit more effort to tap into our creative forces to come up with some solutions to some long-term standing problems that are preventing us from feeling the safety, the security, the stability that we want within ourselves, our emotional matters, our headspace, within our relationships, within our money matters. So we're definitely gaining a lot of perspective now that the moon is in Leo. And of course, we are building to the very first quarter moon in Leo tomorrow, which will pop off, which will put us in a position to be fired up, to be very passionate, and to be prepared to take action and go after what it is that we now want.